What is up, all my fellow dragons? It's the Dragon here, and welcome to Diablo 3. Now, I love this game. I love this series. I played Diablo 3 when it first came out on, I want to say, Xbox 360 when I first played it. And I used to love this game. I have played it for the Xbox 360, I've played it for the PlayStation 3, I've played it for the PlayStation 4, and, well, they haven't come out with the PlayStation 5 version, but I have it, I do play it on my PlayStation 5 to this day now. And I also, as you obviously can tell, I have it on the PC. Oh, yeah, I also have it on the Switch as well. So if you can't tell, I obviously love my Diablo. Especially number 3. Number 3 is one of my favorite ones. Now, as I just said, I have played this game on the PC as well. I do believe I'm on. If you know anything about the game, you know that there's something called Paragon levels, where you're basically levels beyond your main like 70 or whatever it is now, if they haven't updated it. So I've deleted all my old characters because I couldn't remember a damn thing about them. I was just like, oh, I'm not even gonna use them anymore. I'll just delete them and start all over. Now, my main character has always been and always will be the wizard. I've played every single character just about, other than Necromancer. I still haven't got Necromancer down yet. My main is wizard, and my second is a demon hunter. My sub is a demon hunter. If I had to go down a list of which ones I play the most, it'd be wizard, demon hunter, witch doctor, barbarian, monk, crusader, necromancer. If I had to go down the list. Now, we're going to start with... we're going to go ahead and go on to seasonal. That way I start off completely new. No Paragon levels, no nothing. And all that kind of... all that jazz. Now, we're going to start with a new character. What are we going to call her? Let's see. What should we call her? She's a wizard. You know what? Let's go old school wizard name. Morgana. How you spell her name? Morgana. Oh, let's go with that. A new start. Preparing in the season gives you the opportunity, yada yada yada. Yeah, it's just a seasonal hero. That's fine. Now seasonal, if you guys haven't played Diablo 3 before, it's just basically you have these special missions that you can do other than the story mode. We're just going to go ahead and jump out into the story mode.
Since my youth, I have been told that I was special. A prodigy of vast potential. I came to the Ishari Sanctum, seeking what knowledge I could glean from the Masters. But I found them fearful of the truth. I would learn nothing from them. But the old books, the prophecies they contained, showed me all that might come to pass, and all that I might become. Then, a star fell from the heavens, the sign that my moment had come. I will go west to Tristram, to stop the darkness that the star portends, and fulfill the destiny that beckons me.
I am so sorry guys, that is really loud. I'll go through and turn that down. Oh, no wonder it's so damn loud. Let's put that down to 80. Apply, accept, it's on the game. Alright. Now, as you just saw, if you have not played Diablo before, there's a very cool intro. I love the intro to these games.
This place reeks of the dead. The fallen star must be near.
Oh, I love this. I love those intros. Each intro is actually different for the different type of characters. Oh, yeah. I do have special cosmetic stuff like the primeval wings. These just... Oh, another thing I should explain. Why am... if you guys know about Diablo in the series, you're probably wondering why am I playing... You're probably wondering why am I playing Diablo 3 when Diablo Immortal just came out for both the mobile and PC. And honestly, that reason is because this is a live stream on it's 3 relax. I didn't want to have it to be where I'm trying to focus on all the new stuff and not be able to play it and enjoy the time with you guys and all the other stuff. So, if you download that game and log into Diablo 3, you'll get after you create your character, of course, you'll get these very cool, bright, like hot pink wings. The Sanguine fight. Each beat of her wings causes the blood in in your veins to surge with trepidation. These ones is what you get when you get the Necromancer DLC. Oh, and you also get a pet, which is the Blood Rose when you download Diablo Immortal and log into this game. Painting a rose red roses red have never been so easy. Obviously talking about the blood that you kill. I do have things like this and all that crap, but and then I have all that. I'm not gonna wear any of this quite yet until we get later on and start when we reach the level 70 and reach Paragons. Now, I started off the game on normal difficulty, make it a little bit easier on us. Ooh, that's still loud. Let's change that down and get a little bit more. 75 sound. No, it's just a simple point and click. You point and click out the screen where you want to go. Use your mouse to aim, walk, everything.
Prophecy sent me in search of the star that fell on this.
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
Captain Rumford, more dead are coming.
We can't open the gates until we drive them back.
The reason I like the wizard and the demon hunter class is because it's so loud. Let's turn that down some more. The reason I like the demon hunter and everything class, let's put it down to 50. Intercept. There. There we go. Still loud, not as loud. The reason I like the Demon Hunter class and everything is and the Wizard class is because it's a medium to long range skill.
Guards, open the gates.
It's a medium to long range class where you can stay farther back and plus you can kill more monsters at once with her skills.
Burn those corpses before they rise again.
The dead have been a bane on our existence since that cursed fire fell. We have to burn them, just to make sure they don't rise from the grave.
I came here to study the fall of Old Tristram. This is closer to the town's history than I want to be.
May the gods who abandoned us come to your aid.
So just so you guys can tell, there's nothing in my chest. I have nothing unlocked. I have to buy everything.
I promised Marco I'd protect him, but now he's dead.
So.
Tristram used to be such a wonderful place to live. My family has been here since the town grew out of the ruins of Old Tristram. But now, it's horrible. The loved ones we've buried and grieved over now threaten our lives.
Alright,
For many years, villagers were too afraid to settle near the ruins of the cursed town Tristram. But as time went by, adventurers arrived to loot the old cathedral, and their business was profitable enough that New Tristram sprang up to accommodate them. Fewer travelers visit now, though, and the town is mostly populated by craftsmen and farmers.
Well, anyway, all I was trying to say is that, no, Put the subtitle on that for my viewers like me who that's all I like playing background. Ah, subtitles only last for those. Okay, I tried. But Diablo, like I said, was one of my favorite games.
Are you Leah? Rumford said you survived the fallen star.
I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but... Watch out! The wounded are turning!
Anyway,
Killing business.
this game is actually pretty short, so there's usually a lot of short-paced action. Well, in the very beginning, of course, there's always a lot of talking and stuff like that, but the game is actually pretty
The dead
short.
will overwhelm us all, unless something is done.
I will make certain that doesn't happen. Your town is safe.
Thank you. You should speak with Captain Rumford at the gate. He can tell you what to do.
This game is pretty short compared to most
We've been
games.
under siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope. I tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
So this is a shorter paced game than most. I believe the gameplay for this could go anywhere from, I want to say 4 hours all the way up to 10, depending on. And like I said, I say short compared to the style of games this is. I'm playing on normal, and if we stay on normal as we level up and get more armor and stuff like that, it'll pretty much go by pretty quick. Which I do plan to kind of stay on the normal difficulty for right now. I'll level up I'll change the difficulty as we go up in easiness.
What can I do to help you fight the risen dead?
I admire your courage, but Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
Thanks for the warning, but I won't be dying today.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
They're attacking the barricades!
Now, the story is pretty straightforward. You only go in one linear spot
That's one of the wretched mothers.
as
There
far
are
as
more
things
of
go
them in
like
the ruins
that.
down the road.
Let's got items. Okay, automatically equipped. Alright.
I, Deckard Cain, have spent many years traveling and writing about the strange creatures in our world. But the sight of the wretched mothers still haunts me. They are the remnants of Queen Asilla's slaughtered handmaidens who were twisted by foul magic. Now they feast upon cadavers and regurgitate them as newly formed, risen dead.
It's pretty loud, but not too far at least.
I will never forget the first time I saw these horrors shambling out of the misty woods. Our loved ones, buried long ago, rose from their graves and began to attack the living. However, the risen dead were only the beginning.
Alright. Now, as I play, I'm going to show you the way I do things. I'm going to show you some way things that can be made easier. Oh, and that's another thing too, is I actually, for skills, I make it to where I can change it to any skill I want, no matter what. Because there's some skills you just don't want to use no matter what. Like, let's see, I don't use really any of these. Let's see. Yeah, I usually don't use these skills at all. Yeah, Frost Nova, Diamond Skin, Slow Time, Teleport. I usually, when I can unlock it, I end up using Hydra. And then I normally have Storm Armor, the Archon, Electrocute, and Disintegrate. And then for what I replace this with, it normally ends up being, depending on what type of build I'm going for. If I'm trying to go for just a complete basically area of effect, the AoE attack style, I go for Blizzard or Meteor, one of these two. Or if I'm just more wanting to do a more support and I want to be hands-on with the fighting, I go for a Familiar, which will boost my support. And there's different versions of the Familiars that you can get and stuff like that. So, like this, there's the Ray of Frost, yada yada yada, second skill. So usually I go with all that. Then you have your passive skills, and then more that unlock later on. Alright. So now, for those of you who don't know about this game, the story mode is pretty linear. The only thing that changes from gameplay to gameplay is the map. Some maps stay the same, but most of the dungeon style maps, are like you enter a building and walk around, those are actually, they change the layout every time.
Praise the powers that be. Griswold, bless his dear heart, risked everything to bring that dear boy home from the cathedral. Though he is troubled and moody now, I am certain it will pass, and he will once again be the sweet Wirt we all love.
Well, you can learn more lore by picking up books and running around through finding people, killing monsters, all this other stuff. Why is it so loud on my end? I hope it's not that loud on your guys' end. This will go to 35. Except... Anyway, well, pretty loud once you start fighting, but not too bad. Alright.
While exploring a cave with hopes of finding hidden treasure, I came upon a most grisly sight. A heap of dead bodies. Unbelievably, as I was searching them for any items of value, they began to rise. I must tell them of this in New Tristram before it's too late.
Honestly, there is a story, there is lore, you'll find out more of it as you go. I'll try not to spoil too much of it for my new game people who've never played it before. But if you haven't played it before and you're looking into getting this game, I recommend it. It's a good game. Oops, shit. I'm too used to playing with the keyboard, so I keep pushing the buttons I'm not supposed to push. Alright.
Scavengers are ugly, pathetic creatures who survive off of carrion and corpses, too diseased to attract any other carnivores. I did once meet a raggedy fellow who claimed that he had trained one of the beasts to bring him large rats to eat. But I'm sure the story is utter nonsense.
Now, for my newer players, if you are a harder gamer and like to think things harder, as you saw, there is a hardcore mode. I'm sure if you saw me click on the seasonal in the beginning. Hardcore mode basically makes, literally, it's a one and done type of thing, where if your character dies, that's it, your character's dead. You have to start all over from the very beginning. Make a new character and everything. For normal mode, that's not an issue. Or you can die and come back to life. So, I haven't done hardcore mode on the PC yet, as far as if I can remember, because it's been a long time since I played it. So, I don't know, as far as the PC version goes, I haven't played on hardcore mode, but I do know it is pretty hard, especially if you try to challenge yourself by putting it on a harder difficulty. Like if you raise difficulty, as you raise your difficulty, as you see right here, 75% extra gold bonus and a 75% extra XP bonus. And what it does is it makes it not as much as more enemies, it actually just makes it harder to kill them.
That should put an end to the attacks, at least for now.
Ooh, hey. If you get this, randomly spawn cave, dungeon, well, that's really good because you get all this gold from the very beginning. And there's chests and items and stuff like that too, so yeah. Oh. Ooh, that's even worse as far as toughness and everything. Oh, cause okay, I see. We'll hold on to those though because those are shit. Those will be good for later on. For item. Now, if you also another thing I can explain, I can at least give a little bit away of is, you know, obviously this is number 3, so there's 1 and 2 before this. I have played number 2, and I know they just released a remaster of it for the PC and all the other game systems. I haven't played the first one, but so I don't technically know how the story starts. But as far as all this goes, there is a and also, even if you haven't played the game and you know at least even the littlest bit of Spanish, you don't even need to know Spanish to know what Diablo means. Devil, Satan. So obviously, that pretty much gives you a big old hint of what this game's about. Obviously it's about Diablo, the namesake of the game. You actually end up dealing with devils, demons, satans, angels, all kinds of different stuff, running through heaven, running through hell. That's what all these games are about.
Diablo himself once walked this place.
There you go.
My knowledge increases.
Okay, so there's Frost Nova, Shock Pulse, I don't use that one, so like I said, obviously they tell you bits and pieces of the lore if you pay attention and everything like that. Okay. Now normally I go ahead and delete these, but I'll pick them up because I need the items, gold in the items. And axe. Now, these extra dungeons that you see, normally they make more, I don't want to say sense, but there's a lot more to do in them when you do play after game stuff. Like, we are playing the campaign, the story mode, but there is an adventure mode where it's just a leveling up mechanic, and if you're starting off from a brand new game, haven't played this game before, then you won't have adventure mode right off the bat. But if you join in with a seasonal character instead of a,
There's chaos everywhere, and word in town is that Latdanen killed the king. If only this is true, perhaps our days and nights of living in terror are behind us now.
Alright, not that there's no more interruption. If you start off with a seasonal character instead of a normal one, you would actually end up unlocking adventure mode right off the bat. Now, it's a pretty good way to just skip the story and jump straight into playing the game and leveling up and unlocking your armor and stuff like that. But even if you do have adventure mode locked, if you're starting with a new character and don't have Paragon levels, and a pretty high amount of them, not that, I would recommend just breezing through the story mode. Stay on normal difficulty. Don't raise the difficulty and just breeze right through it. Skip all the cutscenes, skip all that. Just breeze through it because of the fact that it will be a really quick thing to do, and it would actually help you learn the layout of the characters. And I can get to normal.
For a long time, Uncle Deckard avoided coming back to this place. There were a lot of ghosts here for him. This is where Diablo drove old King Leoric mad and terrorized the people. I don't know what really happened here, but whatever it was horrible. Nearly everyone who survived went mad.
Alright, let me finish this one thought before I talk about what you just said. Normally I can go from level 1 all the way to level 70 by the end of normal mode if I grind and clear out all the maps and stuff. And so normally it takes me anywhere about, if I'm just breezing through story mode, not even bothering to grind or anything like that, try to get to level 70, normally it takes me about 3 hours. 3-4 hours to finish the game. But if I'm grinding and I'm actually like taking my time and doing all that kind of stuff, then it would normally take me about 6 to 8, maybe 10, depending on if I take my time.
We have come at last to Tristram's old cathedral. This is where Diablo, Lord of Terror, first corrupted mankind. This is where I may finally find the answers I seek. Leah worries after my safety, but I believe information vital to defeating the last lords of the burning hells can be found here.
Okay. Now, what Leah was talking about was, they actually, even if you've never played Diablo 1 or Diablo 2 before, you don't need to worry about knowing what the story is, knowing what the game is, because they explain all of that lore throughout the game of this one. And what she was just talking about, which was Tristram, which is the town. This is the town that the first game of Diablo is based on. So this is actually basically after the first game already happened, so they're explaining everything that happened in the first game.
Thank you for your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
Nor should she. I will help her find him.
There we go. Thanks, still worse than what I got. Alright.
When Leah told us the dead were pouring out of the cathedral, we quickly went to put an end to it. At first, it seemed we were succeeding, but they just kept coming. We were overcome. Captain Dalton and the men fought valiantly. They protected me. I am no soldier. I was a farmer. I should not have been out there with them. I do not know how I made it back here. None of the others did. And now, somehow, I'm supposed to lead the militia.
Alright. And as you saw, like, I've been going through and changing out my equipment and checking all that stuff and everything like that too, so. Yeah, here's your quest and journey. Your journal, and basically this is where you can look at all your lore as you collect it. This tells you what quest you're on at the moment. Your map, all that kind of stuff. Anyway. So.
I volunteered to help because it seemed the right thing to do. But I'm no leader of men.
Perhaps you are more of a leader than you think.
That's a simple thing for you to say. You were born to fight monsters like the risen dead. Me? I'm just a farmer.
And that's the thing, even though this person or this person don't have marks over their heads, it's always best to talk to them because you can get more lore, understand what's more going on. But at the same time, there is an achievement you get for talking to everybody in the game. Not in the seasonal, but in the normal, general, whatever campaign, I believe it is. If you talk to everybody, you get the certain things.
Come, let us search for your uncle.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to Adria's hut. The key must still be there.
Alright.
Here, let me open the gate. Adria was my mother, but I don't know much about her. She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
What about your father?
I'm told he was a great warrior who was lost when Tristram fell to the demons.
Alright. Now, like most RPG games in Breath of the Wild, Link, all that kind of stuff, break everything because everything can have golden items in it.
Than you know. People said she was a witch, but I never believed it. Captain Dalton!
So that fight actually could be a lot harder than what it's supposed to be. Normally, Captain Dalton summons these orbs that can freeze you in place and end up causing you a lot of harm. No, I am going to activate a pet. Let's see here. Let's go. No, I am gonna use the new ones I got. I think it just fits a witch. Wouldn't a wizard or a witch have those kind of pets? Anyway, a pet is actually a good cosmetic to have because they go around and help you pick up gold.
Here's the key and my mother's journal. What I've seen of it is disturbing. I want to know more about her, but that can wait. We need to save Uncle Deckard first.
I will search the cathedral. You stay here and learn what you can.
Thank you.
Eden came to me last night. I suspected what was lurking within his troubled heart. I consoled him as best I could. Regardless, wherever he's headed, hell will surely follow in his wake. The shadows close in on Tristram once again. But like Aiden, I'll be gone before they fall.
Alright. As I was saying, that the pet is a great thing to have because they help you pick up gold. Sadly, that's all they do. They're purely a cosmetic thing beyond that. But
how did your mother die?
Well, details are hazy, but I know that Adria was obsessed with chasing the arcane. She knew she could never raise a child. Uncle Deckard believes that the madness and horror of her life finally caught up with her.
Hey, beautiful. When did you join in? Alright, oh, another thing I should probably let you guys know as viewers is that, as I said before, I have played this game on so many times over, and I played it so much. It used to be my favorite game. I used to stay up all night, every night during the weekends. As soon as I get home from school, whatever, come home from work, and that's what I'm doing. Ah, okay. I come home from school, and that'd be pretty much all I would do. Come home from work, that's all I would do. And it got to the point where I literally maxed out the amount of Paragon levels that you could do. If I'm remembering correctly, it's 20,000. Like, I had 20,000 levels of Paragon levels, and I was just OP as OP could get. Let's see. Let's see. Nope, I don't have it unlocked yet, that's why. But, like, I had a max of 20,000 Paragon levels, and it was just ridiculous.
So this is Tristram Cathedral. The fallen star is somewhere inside.
And when I say OP, I mean OP to the point of I couldn't die even if I tried. Like, I would play the game on the hardest difficulty you can get, so you can unlock the basically the best armor, the best weapons, and all that kind of stuff. You know, all legendary equipment. And I would just stand there in front of a crowd of all these enemies and just let them attack me, and I would not die. My health would go down, don't get me wrong, I'm still taking damage, but I just couldn't die. And then one hit would wipe my entire screen clean of enemies. I can't even say how long it took me to complete
This
the...
must be where the star fell. Its crater is tinged with some strange magic.
I can't even say how long it took me to get that far in Paragon levels. Honestly, I just think it's funny that you just go around kicking dead bodies over just to try and search, just to find gold.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
Alright. Oh, speaking of, I just thought of something. Another thing about the classes, one of the harder ones to deal with up until the later levels is a barbarian. The reason is see this purple orb here, that's my arcane power. And as it says here, fast regenerating source used for most wizard skills. Well, as a barbarian, you use rage, or fury as this game calls it. And the only way you can raise it is by actually fighting. Kinda obvious, duh. When you fight, you actually gain fury slowly, but when you get damaged, you build it up faster. And each attack that you use, each skill gives you more and more fury. Uses more and more fury. In the later on levels, there actually is a skill to help you, a passive skill to help you build it naturally. Which isn't too bad, but one of the in the very beginning of the game, it's a lot harder to fight as a barbarian than it is anything else. Due to that fact that you have to build your mana, your skill points, whatever. Where a lot of other ones, they just build it up naturally. I think a monk, you have to do certain things. You have to just fight normally for it to build up as well. You can't just build it up naturally. But I've always found it that a monk actually has mid to close range abilities, so you can still at least fight better than a barbarian, because most of a barbarian's initial abilities are all short range attacks. Obviously, it's barbarian. They run in, guns blazing, don't even think about a strategy, basically. Most of the time. Now, let's look at that lore. Oop, wrong one.
The grotesques may seem slow and senseless, but they hide many dangers within their hideously malformed bodies. A set of spikes lurks beneath the monster's flesh, and foul parasites nest within them. It is said that these horrors themselves are constructed by a greater evil,
rare enemy,
a darkness that I cannot even fathom.
Our first rare enemy. Yay! Now, for those of you who don't know, whether you've been living under a rock or you don't understand games very much or think that this one has a different class system, it doesn't. This game mostly goes with the general, think D&D terms. Like, literally, this is basically a D&D game made 3D. Quite literally. So it goes all the way from common equipment to rare or magic to rare to epic to legendary. And then it has ancient, which ancient isn't really better or worse than legendary. It just means it's an older. I think it's more of a rare legendary, the type of class to give it. Oop, got our first material.
We thought we could keep the dead trapped here. Akarat, save me.
My name is Lakdanan, and I'm cursed. Once the captain of King Leoric's army, I lived only to honor my land and my king. No man has a greater love for his king than I had for mine, even as I drove my blade through his dark and corrupted heart.
Well then, that was dark. Then again, that's what this game is all about. Now,
My power grows.
yeah. So charge burst, increase in magic. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Except, okay. I know I haven't used the Frost Nova skill because I don't really use it very much anyway from the very beginning. As you can see, wrong map. Oh, that's. Oh, here's Paragon levels. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about Paragon levels. I've maxed out these. These are 50, 50, and then you have 50 all through here, 50 all through there, 50 all through there. With these two, as you know, there's not a limit, as you can see. So this means you can keep raising these as much as you want. But until the top one changes based off of your character, and that is your damage count, which for a wizard and a I want to say there's two of them that go for each one basically. What the hell? Oh, what's up? There's two for each one. There's intelligence, strength. Here you can see it in my character details. Oh, here, no, it's not that. There's strength, dexterity, intelligence, vitality. And basically for each character, for each one of these three, I think there's 2 or 3 characters that use each one, whatever. So when you go to do your Paragon levels, that raises your strength, and then this raises your vitality. Obviously, it's called vitality, so it raises your health. Duh. Well, I actually had these, I can't remember what it was, like 6,000? That's 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. So it was like, yeah, both of these were combined total of whatever was left after taking out that. And I believe the cap on Paragon levels was 20,000. So each one had, yeah, it was ridiculous. 6,500, something like that. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I can do a live stream off of the PS5, PS4, and show it to you guys. Show you the OP character I have. Oh, as you just saw, the more items you destroy, you get a speed boost as well. So you have a more incentive to destroy everything. If there's anybody watching during the live stream and you guys have questions or whatever, just type them up in the chat, and I'll try to answer them when I can. I'm making sure to check my side screen over here where I have the chat pulled up. Oh, let me check my key bindings. I can't remember what toggle map tab. There we go. That's right. As you can see, I'm sure the ending's probably over here somewhere, but I'm gonna go this way just to check and see what items they got. Zombies, lots of zombies. Get the chain.
You dare attack me?
Another thing that I like that the console version does that this one doesn't do, for those of you who played the PC version only, or ooh, black mushrooms.
Big mushrooms.
Hey, I got a rare item that I needed for a special thing. Nice. I wasn't expecting to find a rare item through rare material so quickly. The rare item doesn't really amount to much. I won't mention it here just yet until maybe we go to actually do it. But anyway, as I was saying, something I like that the console version of this game does that you can't do in the PC version. For those of you who played the PC version, have never played the console, or you've never played the game at all and kind of want to know these differences just in case you do decide to buy this game for a certain thing, is on the console version you can actually dodge. As far as I know, on the PC version you cannot dodge attacks. You can only move out of the way. Oh, I found the door. I'm gonna go ahead and go on through it.
Foul minions, stay back! Back! May this wedge hold.
Uncle Kane!
Skeleton King?
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
Yikes. Now there is actually a special achievement that you can do. That you can get by basically just running around. I'm not sure. You run around and just let this. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Basically, the achievement is once. Maybe it's after this. Oh, there we go. Basically, when these guys show up, kill him before you kill the other skeletons. But as you see, I already did that. I don't even know why I'm running around. I have quite a bit of health on the normal difficulty. Anyway,
Oh, thank you. But why did you risk yourself for me?
You live. Fortune smiles on you, old man. I'm here to bring you back to Leah.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps. We must discuss the fallen star. Follow me to Tristram.
no, you can come back into this area later. It's right, as you see, here is where we entered the cathedral. But it'd do you good to check this area, because sometimes there's treasure chests in here, there's items to pick up. So.
I have
Here's the next
fulfilled my
cutscene.
promise to Leah and rescued her uncle, Deckard Cain. Now, all that stands between me and the fallen star is the Skeleton King, who has returned to darken Tristram once again.
Talk to the captain. Oh, I guess he doesn't have anything to say about finding Deckard. Alright, let's put the items in here real quick. Oh, if you're on PC version, the chest is different as well. You can actually organize this. You organize your chest and stuff. Where on console version, you don't have that. It's just a giant list of stuff. You don't get a... They organize it, don't get me wrong. They do organize it by items, but you don't get a choice on how you organize it. With this, you have to organize it by yourself. So, what I like to do is organize it for, let's see here. I normally do... So see, you can actually organize it by characters, the type of characters they are, and all that kind of stuff. So what I'll do is organize it by weapon, armor, and for right now, it'll be materials. So this one will be materials, such as the black mushroom that we just got. I don't need to save any of the armor stuff, so I'm not gonna do that.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
Our time is running short. What can you tell me about the fallen star?
Not much, I'm afraid, though the prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back.
I find it funny, it's like they just saw a falling star hit the ground and raise the dead, yet Leia still believes that all this crap is just stories. Like, she doesn't believe that there's stuff there.
I've spent most of my life traveling from place to place with Uncle Deckard, while he did his crazy research.
What is he looking for?
He's convinced that the forces of hell will invade our world and bring about the end times. All these years, he's still searching for a way to stop this apocalypse.
What did you discover about your mother?
She wasn't from Tristram originally. She came here during the Troubles. She was in search of something, but I'm not sure what. She reminds me of Uncle Deckard, obsessed with the war between angels and demons.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
Leoric's tale is sad, but I am here to find the fallen star, and the Skeleton King stands in my way.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Hadrig. He knows of its whereabouts. Leia, you should not dismiss the signs so lightly. Do you not believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the texts? The Zakharum tomes warn of a falling star. The Herodric scroll spoke of the dead rising, and the Lord of Lies. The prophecy of the end days says that at the end of all things, the first sign shall appear in the heavens.
Yes, you've been telling me about the texts since I was 8 years old, Uncle. I just don't think we should read too much into them.
See, that right there, I find it's very funny. It's like, lady, the dead is rising from the ground, and a giant blue star just fell to the ground. Wouldn't you start believing this stuff?
I am the last of the Herodrim. I couldn't always claim this. In fact, if I had turned to the Herodric teachings sooner, Diablo could have been stopped before his reign of terror began.
You can't truly believe that.
When the first signs appeared, I did nothing. I had shrugged the old tales off like they were so much fantasy. And Tristram, no, the world has paid dearly for my arrogance. I have tried to make up for my failings. Leah and I have spent her lifetime scouring the world, collecting pieces of the prophecy of the end days. If I can decipher it, we will have the key to defeating the lords of hell.
He did bring up a very good point though that I wanted to bring up is that this is obviously you can tell this is based off the Bible and the heaven and hell type of thing. Even the health bar at the very bottom, the experience bar and everything. You have the demon and the angel on either side. Now, they talk about the lords of hell. Oh, so Lucifer isn't actually a thing in this game, which, if you believe in, from what I know, like I say, I'm not an expert in this. I'm not a religious aficionado. In fact, I'm not even religious myself at all. I do believe in something. I am what you call Wiccan, which we're not even gonna get into the whole spiral black hole that is. But basically, what I know is that Lucifer was originally a true person, a real angel, but when he fell to hell, when he got kicked out of heaven and fell to hell, basically he got split up into the different pieces of basically the different lords of hell. You have the Lord of Lies, the Lord of basically you have all these different lords of heaven and hell. You have basically Blizzabub. What is it? Blizzabub, Diablo. Well, I think there's like 5 lords of hell, 5, 6 lords of hell, something like that, maybe 7. But then you have the lords of hell, and then you have the prime evil, which is Diablo. And basically, Diablo is basically Lucifer reincarnate. He's the strongest version, the strongest piece of Lucifer. Anybody who knows more about the stories and the beliefs and stuff, like, the best way to think of it, this game is a lot like Faust. The story of Faust and Mephistopheles, I think is his name, Mephistopheles. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Mephisto, that's the best way of Mephistopheles. Basically it's all basically that whole type of religious beliefs and stuff like that.
I notice a great fondness between you and Leah.
I do not know what my life would have been like had I not raised her. Oh, it must have been difficult for Leah, following an old man on a mad search for the secrets to defeating the lords of the burning hells. But though she has seen her share of mysterious things, she is still unsure of my quest. I can understand. She has never seen anything like Diablo and his brothers.
Another note that he mentioned, when we asked her, "Who are you?" he says he could have stopped it if he had paid attention to the teaching. He is actually the narrator for all the games, I believe. Well, maybe not the newest one that's gonna be coming out soon, or he might not even be a part of the Immortals. But I do know for number 1 and number 2, he is, I believe, the narrator and the one who's telling the story of what's going on.
The prophecy of the end days is contained within the Herodric tomes I inherited from my ancestor, Jared Kane. It is a warning to those who could interpret it regarding hell's ultimate invasion of our world, written by many different people throughout history, in many different lands. All known versions of the prophecy are incomplete. I have spent a good part of the past 20 years trying to complete it. I am certain it holds the answers to defeating the lords of hell.
Now, who talks about the Haradrim and him being the last of the Haradric people? Well, based on at least the premise of this game, the Haradrim was set up by somebody who's gonna show up later on in the story, which when he shows up, I think they do explain it and everything. But like I said, I don't want to give you too much of a lore dump, but I want to kind of explain some of the past and stuff that you would not know unless you paid attention to the lore without talking to everybody. Which I'm not gonna listen to everything everybody says sometimes, because I've heard it all 1,000 times, as you already know. So the Haradrim and the Heradic people and the Heradic members are basically, they were set up by somebody we are going to meet at the end of this section of the game to protect the world and to keep a lookout for the signs, and basically they were prophets. Basically they worked with this person to protect Earth and protect everything like that. Oh, you know what, should I say this? No, I'm not gonna say that. I will let that come out in the story itself. Let's get back onto the
You said
Mad
Diablo
King.
drove Leoric mad.
Leoric resisted Diablo's attempts to possess him, but the effort left him weak and confused. When his son Albrecht was kidnapped to be a vessel for Diablo, it destroyed any sanity Leoric had left.
What happened after he became the Skeleton King?
He commanded an army of the dead deep within the cathedral, finally serving the Lord of Terror he had resisted while alive. Many adventurers tried and failed to slay the Skeleton King. It was left to Leoric's eldest son, Aiden, to finally kill the monster his father had become.
Okay. So, as he said the Lord of Terror after he said Diablo. Well, in that part of religious beliefs, like I said, they all had their true name and their title, which Diablo was the Lord of Lies. The Lord of Terror. Blizzardblub was the Lord of Lies. I do believe those are the only two that we know about in this game, I believe. I'm not sure. But I believe there's basically the 7 deadly sins. There's basically I do believe there's the 7 lords of hell. Once again, for basically the 7 rings of hell, the 7 yada yada yada.
Whatever I sell you.
So here we have rare, and then we get epic, and then we have legendary after that. So I'm not gonna buy anything yet. I am going to sell, actually. Because gold will be good, and then I'll keep the blue stuff, so.
Leah spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife, tending the wounded.
What? She was out defending the gates this morning. What is driving that woman?
Oh wow, I forgot they have her already in here. Now, this lady here, Miriam, you actually are not supposed to meet her till later on in the game as far as story goes. So the fact that she's here right now is just... here.
Chelsea, how sweet of you to ask. My people, the Vetchin, are nomads, always traveling, looking for the land we might settle. All of us have the sight, but few have it as strong as myself. You know, men have always pursued me for my visions. Well, for things other than my visions. But everyone wants to know what the future holds.
I know what my future holds. I have seen it written.
Can you not focus on anything but power and prophecy? Live a little in the here and now. It's all we have. The world is constantly renewing itself, eternally playing out the same events over and over again. We can merely play our parts.
Are you trying to confuse me?
I speak clearly. Do not blame me for the state of your mind.
Alright, well, she is basically the Enchantress. She enchants... she lets you basically change your abilities of items and lets you change the way they look and dye their colors and train her to get more items. styles and looks and stuff. Which part of the seasonal stuff is actually leveling her up. Same for the blacksmith and is he here? No, it doesn't look like he is. Nope. I think that's where he sets up right there. Later on you meet a jeweler and stuff like that. And,
Blacksmith. Deckard Cain said you could help me find the crown of Leoric.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
I know it will be difficult, but she would want you to do it. I will help you.
Thank you. Follow me.
So the blacksmith, there's a jeweler later on to let you put gems into your armor. And the enchantress, which you level all those up, part of the seasonal stuff. They go all the way up to level 12.
My friends, I'm sorry.
You are helping them. You don't need to be sorry.
And they just unlock, like any other merchant in games, they unlock new items and new things you can do. Give you stronger items, stronger effects.
Need more arcane power.
Mira, my love, forgive me.
Hedrig, help me.
That gotta suck. I don't know what I would be able to do in that situation. So I don't know if I'd be able to do that, to have to kill a loved one. Nope. I'd probably end up dying myself before I let that happen.
I couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt. My name is Hedrig Aemon.
Well, Hedrig, Deckard Cain told me you know where Leoric's crown is.
I can help you there. It's buried with his Chancellor, my grandfather. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
Well, that's something I always wondered. How did you go from being the grandson of a chancellor to a humble blacksmith? But then when you think about it, it's actually not that big of a deal given the fact that there's a chancellor of the Mad King. Minimap. Oh, now you tell me how to use the minimap. Anyway. I need to find a new wand or new weapons. Already starting to have issues with this one.
Your defenses are nothing.
Alright. Other pants, which I don't think will be any better than what I have on. Nope. Alright. Snakes. Why is it always snakes? Freaking Indiana Jones reference there. Oh yeah, those guys that blow up, it's not always snakes. I just was making a joke. Some later on, as you get stronger and stronger and you fight different versions of them, sometimes you'll have ones that blow up and they send out goblin creatures, or they'll send out
Nicely done.
They might not even send out anything. It's that one's actually very rare. It's Cold Frost. Not my Cold Frost is stronger.
In the eastern kingdom of Khejistan, I heard rumors of Zakarum warriors called Crusaders. While the natives were most reticent, I was able to deduce that this order was founded 200 years ago, just as Rakis took his army of paladins west. But these Crusaders went east on a very different mission.
That's cool too, is you get lore books about the different classes and they basically tell you the backstory of what happened to them and how they became who they are. Ooh, I got a legendary item already? Dang. That was quick. Now, legendary items you have to actually identify before you can use them. Although I'm really surprised I was able to get a legendary item so quickly. But this one is just, other than the normal boost and abilities, like the plus 18 intelligence, 22 vitality, 18 hit per life per hit, you also have the increased effect of any gem socketed in this item by 86%. So, like, I believe it's the white gem, the diamond. A diamond gem will actually increase your resistance to everything. Will increase your resistance. A ruby increases your strength. A sapphire increases. I can't even remember. Oh wow, been so long since I played. Anyway, there's a green, blue, white, purple, yellow. So, and then each one has their own different abilities that they get. Come on, die. I hate the wretched mothers. Ah! Dang it. Alright. I was saying I hate the wretched mothers because when you're attacking them, they just keep spawning meat shields in front of them. Now, the cemetery to the Forsaken is actually in this area over here. Like, if you just keep walking to the right, to the upper right, you'll find it no matter what. So, that's not a big deal.
Hadrig's apprentice is dead. I should tell him.
I just love how, like, uninterested the wizard, the witch or wizard character is. Like, oh, this person's dead, I should let them know. Alright. Ah! Alright. I really need to find a stronger weapon. Now, as you saw that I can equip certain things, like I have this which I can't equip, I can equip all this other stuff. The reason I don't is because of my skills. Where my skills I can only use certain maybe it's not with this one. Maybe it's not with the witch. Where anyway, certain characters can only use certain weapons with certain skills. Let me see. Okay, I can still use it, so I'm good. Alright, that's good. But like, if I was playing as let's just say a demon hunter for instance, their main weapon is a crossbow. Whether you're using the light crossbow or the two-handed crossbow, a 200 or a 100 or a two-handed weapon crossbow, where you can't use their main attack, which is shooting a crossbow on the enemy. Well, that's why I was thinking, like, oh, you can't use this, but I forgot with the wizard, you're just casting a ball of mana, so that's not too bad. Oh, look at how much stronger I am now that I'm using a stronger weapon. Alright. Now that I'm stronger, I don't have to worry about taking forever to kill someone. So that was why I wasn't choosing a stronger weapon earlier, is because for some reason I thought the wizard character needed a special weapon like a wand or a staff. But hey, lay off my back. I haven't played this game in a long ass time. Ooh, wand. Perfect. Perfect. So it's like, even though I had that weapon, I could have just waited until I got a wand, because as a wizard, a wand is a specialized weapon for a wizard. Just, so I think it says here too, it's like, yeah, see, wizard. Up in the right hand corner, right where it says one hand weapon, it says wizard, so it's like, that only a wizard can use that item. So, there are armor, shields, and weapons that you can only use as a certain character. So each character has their own specialized weapon. For a barbarian, I believe it's the mighty weapons. That's something called mighty weapons. This is basically like a giant warhammer. It's the warhammer only. Ooh, treasure goblin, perfect. I got some good luck. It's very rare to find a treasure goblin so early.
My power grows.
As you just saw, the treasure goblin is a very rare enemy that shows up. Alright, let's kill these guys before I open up my inventory again. Alright. As you saw, a treasure goblin is a rare enemy that ends up having a buttload of items that can drop when you kill it. Well, now, do I want extra damage or do I want to have the shield? What's my recovery? 73? How much is it good at? Just 67? Damage goes up quite a bit. I'm gonna go for a pure. I want to go my normal play style, which is pure damage. I like to just kill everything before it gets a chance to attack me. Anyway, as I was saying, the barbarians get what they call mighty weapons, which is basically just would be like a giant frick-off warhammer, or if it's a sword, it would be, think of the Buster Sword that Cloud has in Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, like it's like the Buster Sword or anything like that, and pretty much just like Cloud, they're wielding it with one hand. Where the Crusaders have flails and hammers. The monk has basically like a naginata, or I believe they have a naginata or a what's it called? They have knuckles. They have knuckle weapons. The wizard obviously has the staff or the wand. The demon hunter, I've already told you, has the crossbow. For most, they're mainly nothing but crossbow users. They have the crossbow and the quiver, which is their items.
If only they could see me now.
And then the wizard, oh yeah, I forgot, their offhand is a source, a magic source. Which can be the bubble, or the book, or a skull, or whatever. Now the Witch Doctor is doesn't really have his own unique weapon, but he uses knives and basically uses just knives and daggers. So Witch Doctor normally uses just knives and daggers, and his offhand is a voodoo doll, basically. A voodoo totem. And then the Necromancer is his weapon, his special weapon is a scythe, which you can only use as a Necromancer, I believe. And his offhand is a another form of totem, but it's mostly just a dark magic totem. Or another form of source or whatever. What's the other class? There's Barbarian, Crusader, Witch Doctor, Wizard. Barbarian, Crusader, Witch Doctor, Wizard, Demon Hunter, Monk. That should be it. I think there's only like 6 or 7 classes, so. Even though I just made my character today, I wasn't thinking about how many classes there were when I was making it. Alright. Now this is what I was talking about, like certain maps pretty much always stay the same, that even though if there's shape changes or whatever. And it's actually pretty much the main maps that always stay the same. Like this map here, the cemetery or the Weeping Willow pretty much always stays the same. It's always this big open map. Like certain shapes of it might change, but it's pretty much always the same. And where the cemetery is will always stay the same too. That'll never change. That'll always be in the upper right hand corner. The only ones that you have to worry about constantly changing are these ones in here, like the dungeons. Like these constantly change here, the defiled crypt. Like these constantly change the inside of the way they're laid out. Normally there's a certain criteria they stick to, like there's always long, windy corridors and stuff like that, but for the most part they do have different maps. I say the general criteria stays the same, but the layout is usually different. Goblins.
Your grave awaits!
Demons have been known to devour their own young when no other nourishment is available. Their offspring, the imps, sometimes manage to flee and band together with other demon spawn. They rove in vicious packs, ready to descend upon the unwary traveler and rip his body to shreds with their tiny needle-sharp teeth.
So, yep, looks like I chose the wrong one. Alright.
The tragedies in these lands have left many restless spirits in their wake, and they demand retribution. These spirits will take out their vengeance on any unsuspecting individual who may pass, for they believe that the blood of the living will yet restore the lives that were ripped away from them.
Ooh, so it's this one, alright.
Grave robbers have defiled my tomb. Now my husband writhes in torment because I do not rest at his side. Return my bones so that we may rest in peace.
Now these are random events that you can pretty much find in any game. They're just randomly placed. Any playthrough, you can pretty much just randomly find it. This one, because when you enter the cemetery of the Forsaken, basically there's 4 crypts that you can go into, and one is the actual crypt that you need to find. One of them is this. There we go. And another one is usually, I think 2 of them are just dead ends. Or maybe one of them is just a dead end. I can't. Normally there's anywhere between 3 and 4 crypts. And usually 2 of them will have an event in them, and one of them will have a new skill. Ooh, diamond skin, perfect. Now Wave of Force, don't really care for that ability. Yeah, let's get rid of you. What the hell? Oh. What the hell is going on? Oh, why can't I? There we go, that's why. Okay, close.
They can rest again.
Armor, items, yay! Still not as strong as what I have on already. Alright. Now, another thing that's different between the PC and the console versions is that when you open up a skill menu or something like that, the game actually like pauses and stops. Where for PC version, even if the menu open, you still have to keep playing. The game's still playing like a normal RPG, well, World of Warcraft or anything like that. Got rare armor already. Yay! Sweet! They're giving me some pretty good loot. I can't believe I ran into another treasure goblin already. Anyway, like this very small, it's like very subtle differences you wouldn't think would matter, but when you're playing a game, when you're in the middle of battle and you need to change your equipment, or you need to, or if you level up mid-fight. Like if you level up mid-fight and you want to change your equipment, change your skills, whatever, it really does make it easier on you. So technically the console version is easier than the PC version, but that's as far as that goes. I mean, as far as actual difficulty level, not really.
This isn't the right crypt. The crown must be in one of the other ones.
Another good significant difference that the console version does compared to the PC version that I specifically like is you can you can do, they have a little small menu like down here where it shows this, where you picked up items and stuff. Well, on the console that pops up too, but on the console version you can go through this list with the directional keys. And Whisper, Clan, Community, Public Chat, All, Party. Let's just go with the All. Alright. You can, with the directional keys on your gamepad, whether it be Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, they'll pop up a little menu and you can automatically equip that armor or weapon if it's better than what you have. Like it'll tell you exactly if it's better or not. Like something like this will pop up on the bottom, and you'll be able to quickly change it if you want to. File crypt. Now I think this is the right one. I'm not sure. You can normally tell which crypt is actually the right crypt that you need to go into just by the entrance. Or once you've memorized the layout of the map and stuff, like certain things never change, so.
If only they could see me now.
That's another thing that I like in the PC console version compared to PC is, yeah, you have a limited carrying capacity, but it's not limited by size in the console version compared to the PC version. Where PC version, as you can see, it's all limited by size. If you have a ring or amulet or whatever, it's only one square compared to like my staff, my sword, my helmet, whatever I'm carrying, which is 2 inventory spaces. Where in the console version, it's just how many items do you have in general, which in the console version, you're allowed to carry 60 items at a time. So, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get rid of all of these. Since I'm pretty well off on gold for a beginner. Didn't mean to do that. Alright. So. Looks like I was wrong on which script this was.
Your grave awaits! I need arcane power.
That's not good enough for what I want. Wait. Grants +2 experience. Maybe it is what I want. Yeah, go ahead and stick with that because that way it gives me more experience. So I want to be able to level up quickly and efficiently. Another rare enemy. Give you a lot of gold. Nope, don't need to use that weapon. I don't want my recovery to be too low, because then all of a sudden I'll just die if they get anywhere near me.
I didn't think I could get any better.
I'm not trying to make a glass cannon character. Alright. Damage increase. Decrease damage taken. You deal 30% additional damage for farther enemies. Let's deal with that. That's normally what I like to do, is the farther away I am, the more damage I do. What the heck? Give me more damage. Alright. I'm sure this isn't the right crypt that I'm looking for. Maybe it is. It is, it'll be past here. Nope.
This is the wrong crypt. The crown isn't here.
Alright. So then there's no crypt on this side of the map. Oh, this will be it right here. Alright.
I'm just warming up.
One-liners always make me laugh. I never understood why. Damn wall. There you go.
Time to test my skill.
I think they might have updated the game.
Your grave awaits!
There you go. Like, why couldn't I open my inventory? There you go. Oh, see, this is one of the weapons for a monk. A fist weapon, which is basically just a knuckle. So this is a weapon that only monks can use, which I don't plan on making a monk character, so... Should be up for all that's new. Okay. There's another spear. Either damage or recovery, which I'll leave the one what I have because it's. I'll use the wand rather than the spear.
This looks like a crypt fit for
So this
a
is it.
counselor. The crown must be.
It's we already knew it was this one because of the fact that there was only the last crypt left. Enemy shows up right now. Yep. That's why I like to have the damage increase the farther away.
The unburied are formed from human corpses that were flung into mass graves without a proper burial. This hideous amalgamation of bodies decomposes together into one being, bound by some foul magic. For all my knowledge, I could only flee from it, and I would expect any other sensible person to do the same.
What was I saying? Oh, I was saying that I like to have my damage farther away. And listen, I'm not gonna let my recovery or anything like that drop completely because I don't want to be a glass cannon. So it's like the second someone gets close to me, I'm screwed. I don't want that kind of situation.
I am so good. I astound myself.
So here's a magic mighty belt, which, like I said, barbarians wear mighty armor, which would technically be heavy armor. So it's like they wear armor that's way too heavy or it's way too big for a normal person to wear, so I'll get rid of not keep that actually because it's a magic item. Alright, so here we go. There's the crown.
No, I will not allow you to bring that monster Leoric back to this world.
There we go. A new crown. Or a new hood. As of course it'll be weaker than the legendary. For now. Oh, not another thing. You can probably see this says Leoric crown. It's technically your first legendary you're not actually supposed to get until after you fight Leoric. So the fact that I'm actually picking up legendary items now is pretty funny to me. Which I know, the reason is because of the seasonal. Now go back to town.
Go back.
You found the crown. Truth be told, I didn't think you'd make it back alive. Ah, it needs repair. Should be no problem. It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something more than making spades to occupy my mind. I want my life to mean something.
Then help me. I will use your handiwork for great things. I'm afraid I have bad news. Your apprentice has died.
Fool boy. Hope for the worst and you will not be disappointed. Thank you for the news.
Ah, there's the blacksmith. Don't need that. There you go. I'll talk to him.
Your grandfather was King Leoric's chancellor. Tell me about him.
Not much to tell. I lived with my father in Caldeum at the time. We heard that my grandfather stayed in Tristram until the end, trying to save lives. Don't know if he succeeded, but there it is. When the Skeleton King fell, my grandfather was dying from a sword wound. He had the crown sealed with him to keep it safe.
I studied the fall of Tristram, but it is easy to forget that it happened to real people. Your grandfather was a brave man. I am sorry about your wife, Hadrig. I wish it had not come to that.
You got nothing to apologize for. She was dying and you put her down.
Hadrig, it is only proper to grieve for Mira. I can't imagine your pain. I've never been close to anyone.
I don't want to talk about my wife. Dead is dead and gone is gone. Do you want work done or not?
Yeah, you know behind closed door he's crying his eyes out.
Oh, dearest Hadrig, do not feel despair, my love. You did everything you could. Our time together meant more than words can say. But in the end, fate is a cruel mistress. Your strength is needed to end the horrors that beset this world.
Oops.
My final wish is that you find your path. Love always. Mira.
Alright. Oh, and also now that you have the blacksmith, he's not just an item crafter. You can actually forge weapons, forge armor, but you can also salvage your armor and weapons and stuff. You can also repair your items. I'm gonna go ahead and train them. But as you see, you salvage your items and you get materials back. You get materials back, and you actually do need these materials to forge armor, items, whatever. Let's talk to Captain.
I volunteered to help because it seemed
Perhaps you are more.
That's a simple.
I have the crown. How do I reach the Skeleton King?
At last. With it, you can unlock the sealed door in the room where you rescued me and enter the royal crypts. When you find the Skeleton King, place the crown atop his head and destroy him.
The Skeleton King dies today. I must find the fallen star.
Ooh, did we ever go into Kane's house? Yes we did. Alright.
I wish that Leia could live a different life, a more normal life. But alas, such is not her fate. When I pass, there is none but her to continue my work, and the future of this world hangs in the balance.
Alright.
After King Leoric went mad, no one lived in these parts for a long time. Then adventurers were lured here by tales of riches to be found inside the old cathedral. New Tristram started when some traveling merchants decided to set down here to sell to the adventurers. It grew quickly. Lots of good farming in these parts. Well, before all of this started.
Alright. So, I believe I'm gonna leave this off here, guys. I'll start back up next time with the. We'll go fight. Get towards Skeleton King and go fight him. Because it actually is quite a bit of ways till we actually get to him. So with that, guys, I'm gonna leave this off here. I hope you guys all enjoyed this. And if you haven't, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you like this series, you want to see me keep playing the story mode of this, or you want me to keep live streaming it. If you want me to play the other Diablo games, I'll try to get my hands on them and play them. And I'll be showing you guys those. Speaking of series, this Monday, a new episode of Serious Sam, the second encounter with The first episode of the Serious Sam Second Encounter will show up. And I do have plans in the works to make a Serious Sam playthrough where it's no commentary the entire game all the way, maybe not all the way through all in one video, but I'll make a series with just no commentary playing all the way through it. Because I found out something I didn't know, which is on the PC version of the Second Encounters for Serious Sam, I could actually play through the first encounter maps and they'll be updated from the originals. So there'll be basically the maps that I originally knew about. There'll be the way I knew how to play it. There'll be all the secrets and stuff like that that I knew about. So I'll probably go through and play all those. No commentary. It'll be just strictly video playthroughs of that. And with that said, all my fellow dragons, I'm gonna go ahead and fly out on here now. I hope you enjoyed this. Once again, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know, do you like the series? Do you not like the series? Do you want to play this game? Have you played this game? Now, also let me know, did I make a mistake on the lore aspect, using the real world biblical aspect of it for the game? Let me know, am I wrong on anything? And so just give general knowledge and spread it all about. Alright, with that, all my fellow dragons, I'm leaving. I'll be flying out. May your flame burn strong. Bye bye.